Hi folks, welcome back. We're going to continue on with this little Santa, and what we're going to do here is we're going to keep digging this portion of it out on either side of this mustache itself. So we're going to go up this way, and we're going to make it a little bit deeper where it meets right there. Okay? Let's see if I can. Alright, so we're really trying to give it some depth, which is fine. And we're just going to trim a little bit out here and there. I want those cheeks to really stick out. That makes it look a little cuter, I think. A little jolly Santa, you know. Same thing over here. We're going to chop some more off over here. Go right up in here. And I'm going to chop that out. Right there. Alright, and then I'm going to round this off a little bit. We're going to go a little deeper with the side of the head too. We're not anywhere where it should be, so let's just start digging some of that out. Let me get my other knife here. You'll see me switch knives. Some people stick with the same knife all the time. I don't always do that. I find it's nice to have a couple of knives, especially if both of them are sharpened up pretty good. You know, see how far in we go here? We've got a little ways to go with him. We definitely want to cut this inward pretty far. And, you know, just I'm going to make sure we have the hairline back here. We're going to go in pretty far here too. See how I'm going from side to side towards the middle. Okay, see how we have that now? Pretty well how that one is. But you know, every one's going to look a little bit different. You can try to make it the same, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. So I'm just going to go over here and start digging a little bit out underneath the beard here on either side. And you have to look at it to make sure that you're taking off the same amount from either side. You don't want it to look lopsided. Okay. We're going to go in a little bit deeper over here yet. And we're just going to undercut. We're not going to do any more to the head right now. We're just going to put it, and we're just going to undercut here from the underside, from the shoulder portion. Alright, just like that. Alright, sometimes carvers are afraid to go too deep, and I understand that because you can't put it back on once it comes, you know, once you cut too much off. But for the most part, you know, I've never really had where I actually cut too much off. I guess I should knock on wood when I say that, but I've been carving a long time, and even for myself, I have to kind of push myself to make them a little deeper than it really is. It just adds to the piece when you can do that, and you know, have it. We're going to go from the front here too. We're going to start cutting that out. See how that head's getting rounded on the bottom of the neck there? And that's all we want to do, is kind of just chop things out. Just keep, you know, keep going at it a little bit. But basically you're cutting it from the underside up. Alright, there you go. That's what we wanted. And we'll go a little deeper yet. And that's how we want the head to be. Now it's a matter of blending things in a little bit. And we're going to do that now. We're going to go from the underside first. And just, because I don't sand these when I'm done, folks, I just let the knife marks where they are. We'll be putting hair on him. You know, we'll put the texture of the hair in and stuff, so he'll look pretty cool that way. Right under here, we're going to have to cut a little bit more off, because that tassel, we're going to just kind of follow that outline for that tassel up to here and here. We're just going to chop some of that out. We don't want that to be sticking out lopsided for his head. Okay, see how that's now sticking out? That's how that one is. Alright. You just want to get up there and you want to try to cut it straight down, because we're going to round this off in a little bit here. But we want to look at the back and see if the same amount over here is off over here. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I start blending things in a little bit. See how we have that all blended together? And it looks kind of even. And now we did the bottom portion. And that looks pretty good. That head looks a little square yet, so we're just going to trim a little bit of this off. And what we can do up here too, folks, is you can undercut a little bit further. And that will give you a little more, I don't know, sometimes when you do an extra cut here and there, it just gives it a little more definition to the piece itself. I find sometimes just a couple of cuts can make it look so different. Okay, so see how we have that? Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of trim that inward. We're not going to have that sticking out like that. And we're going to go back. We're going to trim it a little bit. Alright, see how we have that? That looks good. It looks real good. And I'm just going to blend things back in again. Just like so. And then we've got to do the beard separate from the hairline. There's no ears, of course, on this. And we're just going to trim this off a little bit. We're not really going to do a lot, but round this off back down here. Okay? Because we don't have a lot to fuss with down here. And, you know, we don't have a lot that we can play with as far as the wood is concerned. See how we have it rounded off? All you have to do is take that edge off. Okay? And we're going to go over here and we're going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to, whoops, I'm just going to try to blend things in. Even this, we want to kind of blend it in. We don't want any hard edges anywhere. That makes your piece look blocky when there's edges like this. Okay? Now if you do flat plane carving, that's a little different. You know, you expect to see that, but this isn't really flat plane carving either, so it's a little more, just a tad more detail to it. Alright, we'll be back in a little bit.